Hello, Monday, 27th February 2017. Hello, it's great to see you. Um, yeah, I'm buzzing today. Buzzing Monday. Smashing it. It's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah, this one's just after. I've actually was on holiday last week. So I had a break from my day job, which was cool. Part of something I'm working on is to get very frequent breaks from the office, which is excellent. Gives me time to kind of reset, recharge, get ready. Also, a little bit of time away from the charts. Easier said than done because I actually spent quite a bit of time at home and for the start of the week. But yeah, and then I decided just out of nowhere to go on a trip to Belfast. I just woke up and went. Got to take off in those storms, leaving Gatwick, which was awesome. Pretty nuts. And yeah, had a fantastic time over there. And there's me making a tit out of myself at the Titanic, as I do. Anyway, not so much of that. Yeah, definitely check out Belfast. It's pretty cool. But anyway, back into trading. I've got a lot I want to talk about today, actually. I've got plenty of notes. Now, what can I say? Another weekly close, which is down a little bit. Another 0.3%. One trade closed out. I haven't actually even looked at this in preparation for this. But we're now running about 4% down this year. Really isn't what I expected to start off as. What have I got going on here? Yeah, this was a 2-hour trade on the chart here, and yeah, the market just whipped back. So I got short here, market just snapped straight back at me. So yeah, I thought the entry looked reasonable. You can see, I've got a resistance up here that it's come off. If it's downtrending, it's come off this 50% Fibonacci retracement up to here. So the idea is it's going short. It's got a sell signal there, and I just use this for entry. Now, what would actually be an interesting check here, and so I use this for entry. So I'm kind of jumping the gun, and then as you can see down here, it's pulled back straight against me. Now I haven't checked this, but what would be interesting is to see what that's actually done since then. Was it USD Swiss? I think that's what it was. Is it USD Swiss? Let me just double check that. Yeah, USD Swiss. So where was the sell signal? So the 8-hour sell signal was here. Okay. So yeah, I mean, in a way, I've got out cheaper. Have I got out cheaper? I might still have been in this trade if I'd used this sell signal, but it's starting to look, a little bit bullish. Anyway, so that's that trade. Again, okay, so I'm not upset with it in that I've only lost 0.3%. I'm happy to lose those. What I'm not happy with is that I am losing trade after 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 trade at the moment. I haven't had a winning trade this year. I even took a snapshot of all my trades. So this is this year so far, everything that's closed. Again, they're all small numbers. Biggest loser there is 0.5%, 0.51%. But they are literally upside down of one. I mean, look at this equity curve. You couldn't draw it better the wrong way. That's exactly what you want, but going the other way. So I have kind of tweaked the way I'm trading a little bit to try and do that, to try and modify that. I'm setting things like limits and that, trying to take some money off the table. But basically, nothing is going in my favour at the moment. The markets, I don't know if it's the volatility in the markets. I don't know if it's my trading's crap. But I started off and for my money, I was a crapper trader this time last year. I should be. And I started off better last year, quite frankly, and probably the year before that. So I don't know. It might be the market's just killing me. I mean, they're just not running or whatever it is. But that's that. I don't want to bang on about it too much. I'm going to keep doing what I do. My position side is reduced, 4% down. If looking at it another way, if I get 2% trades, 2% trades, I'm break even again. So, that's the way I try and look at it is, I've certainly had trades which are bigger than 2% before, I could literally just do 2 trades and I'm back to break even. 3 across the year and I've made a three and I'm making a profit. So that's what I'm aiming to get to. Okay, whether it's going to happen or not, we'll find out. Anyway, that's that. So there's a lot I want to talk to you about actually. So trades open, I've got quite a lot open. So let's just flick through these in no particular order. Now, actually, before we do that, I've got about 2% risk on the table here. So it's starting to push. I go up to 3%. That's all good. So 2, I'm okay with it. Yeah. What I have noticed here is I've got a couple of things on USD. So I've got Euro USD, New Zealand USD, and Aussie USD. So normally what I do is, because they're all USD trades, I add up the risk and work out, what my net sort of exposure is. But I've basically got, so this Euro USD is long, and that's kind of offset by the NZD short, if that makes sense to you. The risk is kind of against each other. I could look into the position sizes. I won't, but the risk is kind of offsetting each other on that perspective. And again, this is kind of just back of a packet of cigarettes thing. So that's long, that's short, and then this is short as well. So my overall USD bias is short. Well, sorry, it's actually buy, but the way I'm my overall USD exposure is long overall, yeah, because that's a long. It's hard to say. Euro USD is a long trade, yeah, ergo I'm short the USD. NZD is a short trade, ergo I'm long the USD, so they're offsetting each other. Aussie USD is a short trade, so ergo my overall exposure to USD is a little bit positive. Right, what else have we got there that's paired up? So Aussie, New Zealand, we've got a couple of New Zealand things and we're a bit short the Aussie, but I'm okay with it. There's nothing too much over there. I want to have a quick touch on each of these trades just to show you what's going on with them at the moment. So Euro USD, Euro USD is a buy, as I said. So I'm long this at the moment, and it's thinking about it. It went a little bit long and it pulled back. Things are starting to, we're seeing the MACD's kind of turning over here, so we might get it, and it's actually thinning out on the daily here. We might see it turn and head a little bit north. Main reason for this trade is we've got a lot of support around this 1.5 number, so we're hoping it sticks to that. Hope, and gets us back up to this level here. This was messaged out by the group I'm a member of, so we'll see where that one goes to. What's up next? Aussie, New Zealand. This was also from the group I'm a member of. Aussie dollar, New Zealand. So we can thank Simon for that. Support and resistance trade. This is, so we just draw that up really quickly. It's kind of obvious here. So you can see there, let's stick a blue line on it. I don't know, let's do one of those and then one of those. So this is kind of what we're doing to make it really clear. So we've had a bit of support here before. Doing, doing, doing. We're hoping it comes off that. So the order was literally over there behind the 0 number and hoping it comes down. Now, hope, we love that word, but that is, once we're in, let's see if it comes down. Doesn't matter if it does, because we've all got our strategies to deal with that. But that's fine. So what we've got there is a risk of 0.35% to 1.55 return. So if I just get a calculator up here, 155 over 35, yeah, 4.4. 4.4, so triple R of 4.4, which is pretty cool. So again, we could thank Simon for that one. Right, New Zealand, the rest are all mine, I believe. New Zealand USD, let's have a look at that. New Zealand USD, so this hasn't been doing too much. Yeah, I did this as a retracement on the short sell, and it looks like it's flattening out. I'm going to see how this goes, basically. I don't really like closing trades, so I might start to squeeze it. So go onto a lower time frame and move the stop right up. As it is at the moment, I'll only use 5 pips, but I could move the stop to be like sort of 20 pips, and my risk is really small. I'm not sure though. nine times out of ten I'll just leave it. It's kind of moving sideways at the moment, and there is still, you know, potential for it to move to the downside. So my max risk on there is 0.25%. Okay, so that is that puppy. CHD, oh, CHD, yeah, right. CHF, Jappy, I noticed that typo a minute ago. So yeah, this was a kind of resistance trade, so it'll be interesting to see where this goes. So what we've got here is a big downtrend, and the market's going to come back here to this 1.15 level. We've got a double tops kind of thing, and then it started to move down a little bit. Okay, now what I was looking at before I got into this was the market. I don't know if I did all this before, but the market was a little bit like that, and I was looking at this kind of support level around here, and sort of saying to myself, you know, if it breaks below that, let's get in on a retracement trade. So it broke below, I got short, and it is kind of doing its thing, and I'm just bringing my stop along with it. Now, what's actually happening now is, and which is probably explaining why my money is disappearing from my account, is we've got a kind of rally on it. So we will see where that goes. It could quite easily pull back. You know, I'd expect it to pull back to this 112, maybe even back to this level where we are now, and you know, hope, you know, I want it to move south. That's the idea. I mean, if you're looking at it just purely technically, it has broken this support level. It'll probably come back and retest it again. We're through the itchy cloud if you want to start, you know, looking at that on the 1D chart. I mean, it does obey that. You know, when the last time it moved through the blue cloud, off we went. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that. Obviously, I can get stopped out here. I'm going to leave it as is, and I've got 0.15% risk on that. So I moved this up earlier on, but I hadn't. My concern now is I've made this too tight. We will see. I hate moving stops back. It's something I hate doing. It would only be moving it from where I was today, which was about 3%, about here, which would give me about 0.3% on this trade. But no, I'll stick to my guns. I've moved it now. Let's see what it does. Just having a quick look over at the weekly. You know, weekly's looking like a really nice kind of, you know, if this was a daily chart, I'd be taking the trade just on this alone. So we've got this lovely sell signal on here, and it's kind of heading over. But I mean, really, for a stop with a signal like that, if I was going to trade that, I'd be up here somewhere. So obviously a lot more. But, you know, we may see it come back up to here, and then I just hope it falls down and goes. And if it does go, you know, we should hopefully be off to the races, because, you know, it is setting up like that. Obviously, it could quite easily decide that it's actually bullish. It's come down. It would have retraced to a reasonable level, probably the first 30% fib, if I had to guess. Yeah, not far off, is it? 30%. Well, I suppose it's where you met it, whether you met. Bugger off. These charts. Yeah, well, now I'm making it fit, right? But yeah, it's not far off the 30% fib. But yeah, you don't want to make it fit. So yeah, it could be kind of bouncing and going long, but you know, we'll see what's what. I'm not going to mess with it anyway. So that trade, I actually quite like the look of that trade. We'll see if it continues in my favour. Probably Aussie USD. We've had a bit of Aussie, a lot of Aussie news last week, and that sent it bearish. Yeah, sorry, I'm on the weekly. It sent it bearish, but it was also held up by weak dollar as well. Let me get that right. Yeah, so it's kind of been offset. Is that right? Bearish that, weak dollar. Yeah, it kind of stays stagnant. I've been in this one a while. I still think it looks like it's rolling over, but the key is it hasn't. Yeah, so I am in early technically. I've got a bit more. I don't love the way I'm exposed on this, so I've got one trade here at 0.3%, totally fine. I've got this second trade on top of it. Let me show you that. That's that one, which is 0.27. The reason I don't like it is it's not the amount of risk, it's where I've placed this stop. Which was because it did roll over and then it's come back against me. So there's a decent chance I might get stopped out here. You see, I nearly did there, but I'm not going to screw with it. We're behind this 700. You know, I just hope this 7 I'm using it. Virgil kills me when I say the word hope, but it is, I guess it is hope. uh, I've set it up and I want it to bounce off that 700 as it's, it looks like it's doing that, but until we're off, I don't know. So that's that. How am I doing for time? I knew this would be a long one. 15 minutes already. Right, I'll try and stick with it. New Zealand CAD. I lost a bit of this. NZD CAD. I'm break even on this trade. NZD CAD. Yeah, this looked good. So this was the, where we're looking at all this big support level here. And I was aiming for it to fall down. It did start moving in the direction. I had another position around the same place, which got stopped out by a few pips. Definitely just leaving this one. I mean, technically on a support and resistance trade, I shouldn't have set it to break even. But at the moment, I'm willing to do that just to get risk off the table as soon as I can. I hadn't, when I made this move and set it to break even, it hadn't done all of this stuff. So, it got down to about here. I don't know. It was moving well down. So I thought we'd be okay. It's starting to look like we might get retested. But again, I don't want to move my stops up in this case. Don't want to move them the wrong way. Just looking at my money disappearing on monitor 4. Woo! Yeah. So we'll stick with it, right? That's the deal. And then UK 100. Oh, that's grinding my gears. There's a surprise. Not like the equities to grind my gears. Right, so there was this I actually took from Belfast on my bloody tablet, which I don't really agree with, but I did it anyway. Not bad. So what was I looking at? So let's get back to where I was. This is what we've kind of seen coming up. So we've got the highest highs in a while. Are they the highest highs in a while? Yeah, they are on the FTSE as well. I was just checking I wasn't about to talk nonsense. So we've got the because some of the euros aren't at the highest highs. They're high, but not the highest highs. Anyway, so here is FTSE 100 going back to 1987, which was when there was that storm, wasn't there? And subsequent crash. Anyway, so we're at high highs for the FTSE ever. Okay, we've potentially got a double top here going on the weekly. On the daily, I think it looks nice and bearish. Now, I mean, this is technically, as we know, these bloody markets are being pushed up with quantitative easing. No politician wanting to let it die, blah, blah, blah. How am I doing? 70 minutes. Sorry, guys. I've still got more to go, actually. But I want to walk through this trade because this is how I saw it. So potentially double top, getting a nice sell signal down here. So it had a nice sell signal, gave it a go. It's come back, and now we've got another pop at it, really. Now, this is where I'd love your feedback on this because there's different ways of looking at it. So this is what I'd seen, and I had seen that, okay, on the 8 hour. Yeah, you can see that, just making sure because you've got the monitor there. So that's a big move south, okay. I then saw it retrace. Now, that's when I went short, okay. I still think it's worth a position on that, but I don't know. What I don't know about is obviously what that then creates is a spike over on the deadly, over on the daily. Oh yeah, back in the money over there. Got to stop doing that. There's no need to look. It's just there, isn't it? So that's created a spike on the daily, which means spikes traditionally are rejection candles. Okay, so that means the market's rejected that. However, with a move this big, and then it snaps back, you've also got this market snapback thing, which it does quite a lot. So I thought it was worth a position anyway, and I've put in 0.34% on that risk with a reasonable stop, Yeah, sure, it would be greater behind the 7.4, 7.5, but really, I'm trading on the fact that this guy's going to roll over and it's not going to come back and do all this silly stuff. So, as you can see on my right here, this morning went down a bit, started looking pretty good, and it's come back again. So that's where we are now. So I will probably start to pull the stop down, as we move on, pull it in here a bit. I'm not in love with this trade now. But it's still there. Sorry, it's still there, and it's still reasonable because it's just pulled back to this 8 EMA, and it could quite easily roll over and go south. Anyway, that's my logic. I'd like to hear what you think on that one. I've set a limit down here, which is back at another kind of support round number of 7,000, which gives me 2-to-1 odds. So it's not an amazing risk to reward. But again, I might just take off half the position and then trail, or take off 2/3 of it and trail it if it gets there. But right now, nothing's bloody getting there. So I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. Right, we've now hit 20 minutes. So what else do you want to talk about? There were a couple of trades setups. I'm not going to be doing anything else trading wise, but I thought I'd throw out a couple of things which I've been looking at. So first thing I noticed was Euro Jappy. So that's going to be similar to Swiss Jappy. Euro Jappy, you could argue that it's crossed and it's pulling back. So it's the same sort of pattern we were looking at. So, this thing goes down, pulls back, going down, pulls back. So you could be looking to get short around 120. You're in a big downtrend on the weekly. So, it wouldn't be the maddest thing. But effectively for me, that's the same trade I'm already in, except for just the euro. It's the euro as opposed to the Swissy. So that's looking at euro short. Euro long, euro Aussie. I've been keeping an eye on this support level here. We've been down here before. And it does appear to be kind of holding. And so that's it on a weekly. You can see it kind of moving over on the 8 hourly. And you've got a bit of a kind of buy on the daily there. Now we have bought this before. I bought this previously and it's rolled down. It does look like it might be wanting to go long again, and you've got a support level to back it up. So I don't know. You could have a look at that. Again, I'm not taking on any more risk right now. There's one trade which I might actually. We'll get to that. Aussie Jappy will probably be the same as the Swiss Jappy trade I'm looking at. Why have I pulled this up? Aussie Jappy. Aussie dollar Jappy looking bear. Oh, weekly. Yeah. It's because it had a nice weekly sell. Monthly. God, doubt myself. How are we doing? 22 minutes. Yeah. So it's setting up, looking like it's going to go short. So you could. The reason I've noted that is because I could be looking for short entries into this. Okay, and I've made a note that it looks like it might be going bearish. So if and the Aussie is a bit bearish at the moment, or the news was a bit bearish, so that could be that. But again, I'm already short Aussie and I'm already long Jappy, so I probably won't touch it. But I thought I'd point that out to people if you want to go and have a look at it. Loads of the indices are looking bearish. So Aussie 200, it's got a sell signal on it, double top sell signal. Are we going to go short? Again, I'm not going to. I'm in the other one, but that could be short. What's this? Spanish. Yeah, that's in a sell signal as well. CAC, double top, sell signal. So these are all mirroring each other. German 30, potentially double top, about to go into sell. So yeah, they're all looking a bit short. Now the one that, and obviously UK we've looked at, the bad US 30, absolutely nuts. We're at 20,830 points. Amazing. Let's look at this on a monthly. It's a beast of a bull, isn't it? But as you can see, this is the monthly chart, right? So the market goes up, snaps back to these moving averages. That's just what it does. 8 EMA, 21 EMA, blah blah blah, snap back. Then we go a little bit bearish, so it does it the other way. Come back. So right now we are miles away. Miles away from this. Okay, I thought, shit, I haven't actually looked at this on the monthly, but we are miles away from the moving averages, even on the monthly. So that means on the weekly and the daily, we're going to be even further away, right? It's amazing. The exponential one's not quite the same, but you get the idea. At some point, this will snap back. Now, whether it means it snaps back and it goes bearish, I have no idea. But the world is nuts out there at the moment. I'm just keeping an eye on this, but yeah, this is a crazy bull market. I'm going to shut up about it because I don't get how it's got there. Well, I do get it. They're cheating, but that's doing that. So equity market's a little bit crazy at the moment, but I wanted to bring that up there. Other thing we can look at is oil's a bit choppy. Oil hasn't looked good for anything for ages for my money. And my favourite, which I might trade, is silver. So I appreciate this is a really long one, 25 minutes. So if you've made it this long, that's great. In fact, if you've made it this long, can you comment on Facebook and go, I made it this long? Because I swear no one gets here. But I don't mind. It's a wicked journal for myself. And yeah, I have a feeling a couple of people do get it, but not loads of you. So a while ago, let's get this onto a while ago, 2 weeks ago, was it? Two of these ago, where were we? Down here. And I said, I made a call that I thought that if we get through eight, I think, again, I'm remembering myself, if we bounce off of 18, we could see 14. And if we get through 18, we could see 23. Okay, and I'll show you why. Well, the short was pretty simple, yeah. So if it bounced off here, it was just it's kind of made this head and shoulders a bit awkward head and shoulders pattern. It probably is on a monthly, is it? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of made a bit of a odd head and shoulders pattern gone south. If it gets through it though, I think we're looking really bullish because this is weekly chart. It would suggest that this is the bottom of it. Technically, again, this is all technical, so God knows what the fundamentals will do. And you would be looking at some sort of fib expansion because this is effectively then becomes a, you know, what something like that. Then we pull back, and then we're looking up here somewhere. And I'll do the other bit on it there. Now, if you're Elliott wave, someone needs to explain this to me. I don't really do a lot of Elliott waves, but it's something like 5 legs up, 3 legs down. I'm just counting here. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You with me on that? So 1. It's really annoying the way it does this. 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 bum. 5. So there's your 5 up. Then it will do 3 down. 1. And again, I don't know if I'm drawing these right. 2. Someone tell me if I'm drawing these right. If any of you out there are Elliott wave guys, there you go. So 3, and then that puts. So it's 5, 3, 5 is how I remember it from ages ago. So I'm just kind of making this up as I go here. But if that is the case, that would mean that you're into a kind of another 5 up. So 1, blah, 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 and off you go. I'm not going to go too much into that though, but why? The reason I called 23 was from fib expansion, basically. So with a fib expansion, you go 1, 2, retracement, and bang, there you go. And you've got these different fib numbers. So let me get that on the bottom there. That was on the top. Yeah, so 23.18 is what this is coming out with. So I would be inclined to whack some sort of limit in around 23. Okay, bum, 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 bum. I know I did this the other day, but it's moved. So that's where I put my limit. Now, how am I going to get into it? This is the next question. So this 18 for me is now a key level. So I'm still in my mind, what I'm asking myself is, has this actually made it through 18 or is it just pipping over and going to sod off south? As you can see on the 8 hourly, it's starting to pull back a bit. I will just be keeping a close eye on it. Okay, I would love to get in around 18. I'm not sure I'm confident enough yet to set a buy order on the 18 level because it hasn't got through enough. Really, I'd like to see it get a bit up here, then pull back and then go, which it might still do, of course. But if I can get in at 18 with a stop that's kind of somewhere like that, yeah, behind the 17, so that would give me, so you can see my wheels turning, 70 pips to 233, so let's call that 230 over 70, 3.2. See, they're good odds, aren't they? 3.2 triple R. That's the sort of trade I could see myself making. and I might still do it, but I'm thinking about it. I just wanted to show that though, because whilst silver's not the best thing to trade, it might get through to 23. But there is one other thing I need to point out, which is why your 23 might not be that achievable, is that we've got a bit of support around 20. And when I say a bit, it's on the weekly level. So let's whack that in there. Ba, 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 ba. Actually, let's do it on the daily, monthly even. So, yeah, you could see, this is starting to get really messy now, isn't it? You could see, let me try that. Does that work? That. You've seen support around this 20 level before, you see. So you could struggle to get through there. But it could make it through. So yeah, do what you want. Anyway, I thought that analysis might be interesting. You can see that, you can hear that my wheels are turning. I'm already, oh Jesus, I'm on 30 minutes. I'm really sorry it's taken that long. I wanted to go through all this stuff though, because as I say, I find it interesting. News-wise, this is the high risk stuff. What do I mean? Do I mean high risk? You know what I mean. Highly volatile stuff. Lots of USD stuff coming out tomorrow. We had some already today. Mixture of stuff. German unemployment, so that could definitely push the euro around. Rate decisions on the CAD. Yeah, so there's quite a bit going on out there this week. Yellen's going to screw us all over again in Chicago. So yeah, make of that what you will. My trades are just coming back to me today. Would love to have any feedback from you guys. You know, is this helpful? Is there anything you'd like me to explain more? Do you completely disagree with the fact I only look at the high news stuff? What do you reckon? Have you made it this far? In fact, tell you, please, if you've made it to the end, let me know that you've made it to the end, because I'd be very interested as to how many people make it to the end, because I don't know if they do. But anyway, it's good for me to be able to do this. Silver's coming down, woo, 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 after a great run. Everyone's ISAs are doing incredibly well. Actually, yeah, on that front, I had a number of colleagues talking about silver and stuff. Yeah, silver's has moved up and it looks pretty, but it could definitely move down again. Okay, I'm not saying it's, you know, this. If you look at this move here that we've had in the last couple of weeks, sorry, the last week, which don't get me wrong, I'm happy about, because I am, you know, I'm bullish silver, but that's 260 pips. You know, we can quite easily see this coming up another 3,000. Yeah, so these things, whilst they might at a monetary value, you know, if you've got 10 grand in an ISA, it might go up. I don't know what it's gone up, 3% or something. So it's gone up, you know, it's gone up 300 quid, which is great. That is 3%, isn't it? It's nothing compared with what, you know, where it could go. And then also bear in mind that bloody silver and gold, you know, it's the currencies which are fluctuating against the money. Oh, I have to shut up, don't I? Sorry, I got the verbals. Anyway, love you all. Hope you're having fun. Trade safe. Keep an eye on that risk. Keep taking those losses nice and small. And yeah, let me know if you're doing well. Let me know anything, basically. Love you lots. Keep on living the dream. And I'm out of here. Woo!